Hi guys. I know a lot of you guys are probably gathering with your families and eating food and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be Debbie Downer today and just come with a few facts that I feel like if you are black or even brown, because we all descend from the same people, I think that everybody should know this. I found this out last Saturday at Sabbath, to be honest, and it really shocked me and threw me off because it was the last thing I was thinking I would be hearing about. So pretty much I'm going to read from this article that I found. I learned this at Sabbath last Saturday, but I wanted to find an article to back it up, and I found one, so now I'm making the video. Okay, after the arrival of the Moors, life would never be the same again in Europe. The Moors were commissioned by the governor, who sought revenge against the immoral and brutal king, Roderick of Spain, for sexually taking advantage of his daughter, who was under the care of the guardianship King Roderick while training at his court. The Moors were dignified, proud, and noble civilization known for their spectacular advances in science, medicine, architecture, and which included the invention of the eyeglasses, the invention of science called orthodontics, the invention of anesthetics, alcohol, silver nitrate, and 100 more profound innovations. The architectural innovation of the Great Mosque of Coronado is still one of the major sights to see in Spain. The Moors also invented the magnet compass and the astrolabe, two medieval instruments that would later help Europeans travel to the western seas and come into contact with many of the original people of the earth, in which they would later enslave for European economic growth and prosperity. Okay, so I'm literally just going to read this and then I'm going to say my little stuff after. Spain became sophisticated by the beautiful and stunning Moorish architecture. Beautifully designed mosques, libraries, and schools sprang up in Moorish cities. Water fountains and public bathing and restroom facilities were available to every citizen of the Moorish cities. Education was offered to all citizens, including women who were denied education in Europe. During this time, Moorish Spain became the light of Europe, which was engulfed in the Dark Ages. So a lot of the architectural stuff that you see from the Dark Ages, and that's why I call it the Dark Ages, because the dark people reigned at that time, came from us, from our people, from Moors. Excuse me. The standard of living far exceeded that of the Europeans, who were jealous and envious of the Moors' accomplishments in Spain. The Christian Spaniards fought hard to rid Europe of the benevolent Muslim conquerors. So at that time, we were of Muslim faith, by the way. There were eventually many bloodied Muslim-Christian battles, but good movies showcasing these battles is El Cid, featuring Elizabeth Taylor. The powerful Moors were able to hold off the Spaniards for nearly 800 years. Finally, in-house fighting and interracial sexual relationships between the Moorish men and white Christian Spanish women who remained loyal to their Christianity weakened and destabilized the Moorish Empire and led to the executive military defeats. Okay, this is the part that I want you guys to pay attention to, and that is historic and what we're taking place in right now. In the year of 1491, the Moors surrendered the city of Granada, their last stronghold. On November 25th of 1491, the Moors signed the Act of Capitulation after Spain's King Ferdinand II and Queen Isabella took possession of the city. The Spanish Christians were thankful for the Moors giving, hence Thanksgiving, up Granada, ending Islamic rule in the country. This was a merry and festive day in the eyes of the Europeans and would henceforth be the day that they would give thanks. The defeat of the Moors brought three options: replace their Islamic and Asiatic customs with European customs and Christianity. They would be expelled from Spain, and they would also face execution whenever seen around town or anything of that nature. So they were pretty much told to get the fuck out. If we see you, we're killing you. And that's that. After the expulsion of the Moors, backed by Pope Alexander VI of Rome and Queen Isabella, ordered the destruction of the beautiful and stunning Moorish libraries and mosques. Many Moors were driven into West Africa, where they later were captured and sold into America as slaves. Some of these slaves came on slave ships of Christopher Columbus, who was commissioned by Queen Isabella on his voyage to the New World. Many other Moors sought refuge in the country of Anatolia. These expelled Muslim or Moors from Spain would be later called Turks or Turkish Moors, and the country would later be renamed Turkey by the Europeans. So pretty much what this is saying is that when we gave up our territory, some of us went to West Africa and were sold into slavery. Some of us went to the Anatolia, which is now the territory of Turkey, which was called Turkey after we were there because they started calling us Turkish Moors. So it wasn't called Turkey when we first went, but after us being named Turkish Moors, that's when Europe decided to name that country Turkey because there were so many blacks there. Yeah, after the expulsion of the Moors, Europeans began to naturally celebrate November 25th. There would be great feasts all over Spain and Europe. Turkey bird was not the main dish served, but a fat roasted pig with an apple in his mouth, representing and symbolizing the rebirth or a new beginning. Europeans ate so much of this feast on this feast day that virtually nobody could work the next day, which explains why modern day times corporate jobs give their employees the day after Thanksgiving off. Years later, Europeans began to take revenge on the Moors, now called Turks, because of their sexual relations the Moors held with the Christian Spaniard women. The black man, the Moors, were mockingly called turkeys, and were called this by the European man because of their alleged wild, uncivilized nature. European Christians would now go on a turkey shoot or a turkey hunt. The hunting of the Moors from Turkey, from Anatolia, became an act highly regarded by Europeans at the time. So this was something that was like festive, like let's go to Anatolia and kill some Moors, you know what I mean? Or kill some Turks for that matter. Let's go turkey hunting in Anatolia. The hunting in Anatolia became an act highly regarded by the Europeans at the time. In the process of turkey shoots, Europeans would engage in a wholesome slaughter of the black-skinned Turkish Moors. Innocent Moors would be hunted down cold-blooded by the European Christians. Many others would be captured, tied by their wrists and ankles with rope, and roasted alive, just like you do with that little turkey that you throw in your oven for Thanksgiving dinner. Moors that were not roasted alive were laid on the ground, and the European male would take a knife and literally carve up the Turk, which is the way many people reenact when they carve a turkey bird on Thanksgiving. They're reenacting pretty much that exact same ritual. Or killing, should I say. This bloody carved up Turk, Moorish man, would then have his internal organs removed from his body, stuffed with certain fabric materials, the stick origin of stuffing the turkey bird with bread stuffing or dressing. The Moorish woman would literally be carved up and cut apart the way meat eaters and butchers today cut up chicken. Many European men would say, "Give me a breast," or "I'll take a thigh." I want a leg just like the meat eaters do today when ordering chicken breast. Thighs, legs, breast are all female sexually related and connotative body parts. As women are sized up and critiqued by the size of their breasts, the thickness of their thighs, and the smoothness and build of their legs. Feminists, okay, I'm not going to read that part. Okay. After this violent and brutal act, European man would engage in a joyous merrymaking celebration which would accumulate in a great big feast. This was the origins of Thanksgiving. And eagerly celebrate every year under a false notion that you are celebrating a friendly act of feast between Native Americans, so-called Indians, and European settlers and pilgrims, which that's even a lie, because even though slaves were brought here on slave ships, they actually came to the Americas and ran into blacks, and that's why they were so angry and had to like annihilate them. In regards to the African Americans nowadays, the descendants of the great Moors, they foolishly today celebrate Thanksgiving. Yes, they celebrate Thanksgiving in the feast the same way that the Europeans did the day they conquered the Moors on November 25th of 1491. And in this, they celebrate the loss of their own land, the rape of their own women, the murder of their children, the humiliation of their own forefathers, and the fall of their empire completely, the enslavement of their people. And they celebrate this dark and shameful day of their own people and call it Thanksgiving. So I realize that we don't know this stuff. This stuff is like hardcore hidden from us. So I'm not judging anybody for getting together and celebrating. And also the cranberry sauce represents the blood that was spilled. But it is important that we know what is going on, because I don't know if you know it, but everything in this world is set up to distract you from the Most High. You know what I mean? To get you off of your pedestal. And truth is that the brown people on this planet, whether they're Native, whether they're Black, whether they're Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Haitian, Jamaican, a number of other races, Panamanian, like any, regardless of what they technically are called, we are pretty much the people from the Bible that he's talking about. It happened to us in Egypt, the same thing. He pulled us up out of there and was like, yo, just follow these commandments and you're going to be good. And we are hard-headed as fuck, and we have still yet to follow just 10 simple basic rules, which are just teaching people to be kind and not want what other people have. You know what I mean? And be respectful. We just can't do that. So here we are once again. And it's been to the point this time where, you know, then at least we knew who we were. And now everything about our history and everything that we are has been completely destroyed and devastated in that sense. And we follow, just like in the days of Egypt, we follow all these ritualistic ways and worship all these people, these idols, and, you know, give praise to material things when the material things are not the things that created you in the first place. So don't mean to be a downer, just want to be an educator and educate my people. So the Israelites are the Moors, and the Moors were the slaves, and the slaves were the African Americans. And now Black Lives Matter. It's all bullshit if you ask me, because it's not just only blacks. It's like, you know, Spanish people, Native people. There's a lot of us, but we essentially all descend from the same place. We just got watered down over time. But look it up, look into it, and if you would like me to send you this article, just hit me up and I'll definitely do it. And yeah, stay blessed and praise God. Don't praise people, you know what I mean? And be careful of what gods you're praising when you're doing certain things, because as of right now, ritualistically taking like celebrating holiday, that's definitely not praising a God that supports the Black people, you know, because people got all kind of gods in this world. Don't get it twisted. A lot of people worship a lot of different things, and I've been there, done that, so I know all about a whole bunch of stuff. But when you know better, you grow better, and you do better. So just sending this message of love and encouragement to my people. You know, times are changing. They don't want us to gather in groups of 10 or more because we're waking up rapidly and we understand what's going on. So keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Share with each other, spread love, spread like forgiveness, forgive each other. Don't hold grudges against each other because none of that is actually going to be productive to us, you know. And we just need to teach each other. So this is my little piece. Hopefully it helps somebody. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And let all your days be blessed, not just today. Have a blessed year and be grateful every day of the year, and gather with your family once a week or once a month. You don't have to do it on the day that they say that you have to do it, because what they're doing is essentially just like mocking us and laughing at us. I'm pretty sure there's people high up that are like, damn, remember when our ancestors did this on this day? Isn't it crazy how they don't even know that this is what this means? You know, you have to realize, like, the joke's on us at times, but the joke's almost up. Like, it has to stop. And you guys have to want it to stop, and have to want to do better, and have to want to get up out the master's house. You can't want to stay in the master's house because it's comfortable. You got to want to leave and start your own. Like, historically, we've always got up and got on and done better. So I don't know, just a little bit of information and a little bit of my thoughts. Like I said, I love you guys all, and all praises due to the Most High. Bye.